Chelsea 4, Southampton 0. Tactical breakdown. Chelsea are back to winning ways, and although the level of opposition maybe played some part in this, do not underestimate the impact of this player's new role. And this little tactical tweak from Maresca caused the Saints a lot of problems. Let me know if you spotted it. So without further ado, I'm the London Geordie, and let's dive into it. So Chelsea rightly gave Reece James a rest in this one. We all know his injury record, so it would have been silly to force him to have too many minutes in too many consecutive games. This meant that Enzo would line up next to Caicedo as that initial starting 11. However, this didn't really affect his role, and Cucurella actually played a big part in freeing up Enzo Fernandez, as Cucurella often played that inverted role during the game. In the middle phase of the build-up, Cucurella would step inside in a 3-2 structure in Chelsea's build-up. However, it was slightly different from previous games, as there was actually lots of rotation between Cucurella and Enzo Fernandez for this position, effectively freeing up both players and shifting that Southampton block. But it's our build-up in the deep phase that I really want to talk about, and this tactical change that Maresca made. Now, I spotted something here and it really did make an impact. You'll notice here Chelsea's initial build-up structure, and this was during the first 10 minutes of the game. Chelsea was sort of in a 4-2 build-up structure with their goalkeeper Jorgensen, with Cucurella holding the width on the left, and then you had that pairing of Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo in the middle. But after only a couple of times playing this way, this time Cucurella was inverting into the centre to play in the middle area, and Enzo was freed up to push further up the pitch into these types of areas. And Nkunku would ultimately cover that left side channel by himself. But why, I hear you ask? Well, it was clear that Chelsea's game plan was to force Southampton onto them, bypassing the midfield line and playing directly into the attacking line. And this was reflected in Chelsea's patient play during the build-up, as they were waiting for the right moment to play forward based on the movements of the Chelsea attackers. Therefore, Chelsea needed to put more bodies in the central areas in order to force more Southampton pressure upon them. Because before, instead of no one marking Cucurella in this area, this movement inside attracts a Southampton player. So this player, for example, would come in and be on the back of Cucurella, and immediately you create that little bit of space there. The same goes for Enzo, who was freed up in this position and he was able to drop deeper, again bringing with him a Southampton midfielder to go onto the back of Enzo. Same with Caicedo, a midfielder locking onto the back of Caicedo. This extra body put in the middle really freed up this space in the middle for Chelsea to play that direct ball up to the attacking line, and I'll get onto that in a moment. This was really a great change from Maresca, and he deserves a lot of credit for it, but he also deserves a lot of credit for realising that Pedro Neto is such a competent striker. Firstly, his movement in this game was exceptional. He wasn't just fixed to that striker position, but he was given the freedom to drift out wide a lot of the time, which was a nightmare for the Southampton defence to keep tabs on him, especially for his goal. This run here is so clever because he's moving on the blind side of Nkunku's man. With Nkunku driving into that space inside, he's bringing his man with him, and then he's completely unaware that Neto is actually making that run into the space that he's just vacated. And of course, it's also a great finish, highlighting his really good ball striking ability. And he is actually also very physical. This game plan of playing long to the front line worked because he was able to hold up the ball really well. Add on top of this, you can also tell that his footballing IQ is extremely high, knowing exactly when to rotate with his teammates and communicating that to them on the pitch. You'll see here Neto dropping deep and telling Palmer to go beyond him into that space that he just left. And again here, Neto and Cucurella communicating, Neto telling Cucurella to make that deep run in behind whilst he drops deep. An overall fantastic performance from him, but a great performance by Chelsea as a whole in this one. Very mature, a clear game plan, and despite the fact our star man isn't firing on all cylinders, it happens, Chelsea still convincingly got the job done, and hopefully this acts as a springboard for future games. Let me know, what did you spot from this game? And did you see enough of a performance from the Blues? Thanks guys, don't forget to follow and subscribe to the page, I really do appreciate it, and until next time.